really didn't get what I was talking about, regardless of which example I gave or what have you, that makes me go away and think, well, how could I have done that better? And so that helped sharpen my tools. But you know what? There's another important thing. If we're looking at actual feedback from how well we do, for example, it's very difficult to know because you're dealing with people's thoughts. You're not inside someone's head. You don't know what they're thinking, and you don't know where they're at. So we say, oh, that went really well, didn't it? And if we're really true scientists, Adam, we don't actually know that.
No.
You might feel like the atmosphere was good, and you might feel like it went well, but it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's going to go away from that meeting and do whatever they need to do within their lives to bring about this change in the train of thought of them and their fellow human family. You know what I mean? It's just you do what you can, you learn where you can, you enjoy the process of promoting something in your life that's meaningful and is tangible and that is going to actually be able to bring about a transformation in the way that we live our lives on this planet. To be involved in something like this is so, I feel so privileged, Above all, this is the thing, is it's not a burden to me. People see this as burdensome. And I think it must be far more burdensome to pick up your morning paper and see all the misery and stuff and have absolutely no idea of how to actually tangibly go about solving those problems other than who you vote for the next 4 years of self-interest.
Yeah, I mean, I've started to see it as essentially the most humanitarian thing that could possibly be done, because my mother's an avid Buddhist now. And, I've started taking an interest in her particular beliefs and stuff, and seeing the wonderful merit that a lot of it has. And we have quite a lot of really interesting discussions about morality and how we act and how that reflects on ourselves and everyone around us and possibly, future generations. And I've said that by doing what I'm doing, I can't remember who exactly in the movement, I think it was possibly Ben McLeish who said this, that, we personally will not benefit from what we're doing. We probably won't see the proper fruition of, say, a resource-based economy in our lifetime. So what we're doing is one of the most selfless things that can possibly be done. I mean, some people of a religious disposition could say that, we're devoting our lives to the betterment of humanity, but I'd agree with that to a certain extent. But I'd say that regardless of who we are as a human being or what we've done in our lives beforehand, we can at least look back and say, do you know what? I've actually done what I truly know in my heart to actually do what I can to move humanity in a better direction for the betterment of all humanity from now on. And I know that there's no self-interest involved, because I personally won't bear the fruits. I probably won't bear the fruits of what we're working towards. So like you said, I do agree. It is a privilege to be part of that sort of thing.
Yeah, and funny little quote that sums that up quite well. From The Strangest Place. A film called Scarface?
Yes.
There's a good line in that where he's gone to do this drug deal with a top drugs baron in Colombia, a guy called Sosa, and his associate is basically thrown out the side of a helicopter by a piece of rope in his neck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know the scene I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy turns around to him and he says, yeah, he's hanging up there because he was a rat. Are you a rat? And he turns around into him and he says, listen, all I've got in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for nobody.
Exactly.
And the thing about that whole film is that you don't like the guy, but you like him. You know what I mean? 'Cause he's got his aim pointed in the wrong direction, but you love the way he goes at it.
Yeah.
No one or nothing stands in his way, and unfortunately, it's just he's got the monopoly bug, and what have you. But it's a good sentiment to make, I always tell the truth even when I lie. I like that one as well. It's sort of say, you know what he's trying to say by it. You know, and I like those messages. They're kind of like, I don't know, there's something to do with integrity in there that I like, because what else do you have? You're going to look back on this one day, and you're going to say, how did I live my life? What did I live it for? And integrity is really the only thing you have. You have your actions and what you choose to do with them.
Because there's one particular quote that I came across recently. I can't remember who it was by, but there was something along the lines of, though we may not live forever, the task is to create something that will, or something along those lines. Yeah. But even though we may die, you know, the measure of how well we have done it is not by whether we've achieved eternal life, but whether we have actually created something that will be immortal, you know, and that's one of the things that I've found, that I know that even if I die tomorrow, I can look back on my mortal life and say, I've done what I could. And that's one of the humbling things about doing what we're doing. And that's one thing that it doesn't really translate to a lot of people that we know. There's some people in our lives that do get it. And I would say, hopefully the people that do get that is the people that we care about and that we love. And this does lead us into another little thing that I wanted to talk about. Obviously on your part, you would have to be a little bit diplomatic, but how would you say that, being an advocate of this direction has affected your marriage?
Yes. Diplomacy. Backtracking slightly.
It's become an utmost virtue now.
Yeah, I can feel the arsehole of my diplomacy dike creaking right now. Could have affected it slightly more positively, shall I say? And that was very diplomatic, wasn't it, Adam? Well, it's
I mean, if there's any examples that you can...
Well, it's been different. I think it's changed me to the degree that, you know, little things, I suppose, like I didn't used to batter too much of an eyelid about taking my kids to McDonald's, whereas now, I batter as much of an eyelid to that as maybe feeding them bleach. So I don't do things like that anymore. I really, really loathe them watching American, like, sitcom TV kids programs like Bubble Wrap, freaking Bubble Gum for Your Brain, vacuous, materialistic shit that fucks me off every day, really. But my wife doesn't see it that way, because she's not refusing to really look at the information in the depth and scope that you need to understand it. And then I just come across like Victor Meldrew, where I'm just a miserable bastard. I understand it, it's the same thing with like this Jubilee thing that's been going on, and I've been resisting the urge to put up something on my Facebook profile that's just hideously anti-monarchy, and everybody's waving a flag like they love their slavery, and they, and it's just like, oh God, I just love being someone's subject. And then the funny thing about these people is they're patriotic, right? So they go wave a flag and they go say how great it is that they're considered to be someone's subject, and that they would get down on one knee to be given some abstract title of being a fucking lord of some manor so that they can call other people their bitches. That basically they then, after all of that flag-thumping, patriotic, nationalistic fervour, they have the audacity to complain about taxes.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Well, how can you complain about being bitch-slapped by a government when you go out and openly celebrate that you're someone's bitch? You deserve it. I'm sorry, but if you get what you ask for. And I'm walking around going, why are you all so enjoying your subjugation? Why are you so enjoying your slavery? I don't understand it. And I suppose it does bug me, because I just feel, especially when we're not together as a movement, or not together as people and around, like people who we share these understandings with, that you've got to stay with everyone else. It's like being in the Matrix. I don't mean to be condescending, but I think I've given a pretty astute defense of why, if you take the economy and you take all of the other abstract notions out of it, if I walked up to you now and I said, Adam, I am your king. This ground that we stand on, I shall now put a flag in that says James Opia in it, and you will now wave my flag at festivals and events where you are proud to be my subject. Well, no one in their right mind, you're not going to turn around and say, oh, great, James, yeah, let me buy that flag. Well, by the way, where's it made? China.
Yeah, how softly shall I kiss your buttocks?
Yeah, you just kiss them just softly and gently, and and all that good stuff, and whilst you're at it, groom my stool. It's just gonna be like, fuck you, dude. Any rightful person would just be like, go fuck yourself. And yet, because this was here before you got here, and everybody else is waving flags in your social monkey group, that you feel that it's completely necessary to get all choked up about red, white, and blue. There's nothing to get choked up about other than the absolutely huge amount of dick that you are sucking. I'm sorry. It's fucking stupid. And so when I get a little bit like this, naturally, some of the people who are still sucking on that cock don't necessarily enjoy me telling them that they're doing that. And it does cause a few problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, not that that's the problem within my personal life. But you know what? The good thing I'm very, very pleased about is that regardless of all of these differences that it may have caused, I'm still very, very good friends with those nearest and dearest in my life, regardless of our disagreements. I cannot say that I've fallen out with anybody. And in fact, there's nobody who I, in inverted commas, don't talk to. I still talk to everyone. There's just some I talk to less than others, not because of any other reason, that they don't fall into my lines of extensionality. As I said in a recent radio broadcast for TZM Global Radio, the great thing about this movement is, regardless of where you go on this planet, all you have to do is go on the internet, find your local Zeitgeist Movement chapter, and you've found your new best friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just love that. You're going to go in there and meet people with an extensional value to you. Just a brief little meander. When I went to Vancouver, I stayed with a couple, Matt Berkowitz and Rachel Yap. Yeah, Zeitgeist Vancouver, and we had such a good time. Really, honestly, they are two of the nicest human beings I've ever had the pleasure to meet. They were so nice to me, and we really, really hit it off. We had a great time, really good laugh, great conversations, and I left there, feeling like, I don't want to go, and stuff. And it was then it dawned on me that really that probably could have been the Australian chapter or the LA chapter, or it could have been anywhere else, that is relatively English speaking. And I'm sure I would have walked away going, oh man, they were really nice people,
Yeah, that's one thing that I've found in my personal life. The Zeitgeist movement and the kind of people involved have, for some reason, they've always represented threats to my previous partners. For some reason, my one of my previous girlfriends, she'd always refer to it as Zeitgeist. She'd say, you're always talking about Zeitgeist. And I'm like, well, can you just say TZM or something? I'm not talking about a movie, But
the stress being on Zeitgeist.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, like some of the things I would do that are completely innocent. Yeah, like one of the things I used to do is when I really started doing my megaphone and stuff, I started asking people what gives our money value, right? And one of the things I used to do, I used to walk into a bank, and I used to ask the tellers, what exactly gives our money value?
Yeah.